Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed receives the Deputy Chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and discusses with him bilateral cooperation and means of strengthening it in the economic fields. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq reviews with the American ambassador the existing bilateral relations between the Sultanate and the United States. The Sultanate and China celebrate the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between both countries. And the new cargo terminal at Salalah Airport is launched. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received His Excellency Qin Xiaoguang, Deputy Chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. His Excellency conveyed the greetings of the Chinese leadership and its best wishes of good health and happiness to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and the Omani people, further progress and prosperity. From his side, His Highness Sayyid Fahd asked the guests to convey the greetings of His Majesty the Sultan and his best wishes to the Chinese leadership and the government for further success and the Chinese people more progress. During the talks, they reviewed ways of enhancing the bilateral relations in various fields and celebrated the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between both countries. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al-Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council, and His Excellency Rashid bin Ahmed Al-Shamsi, Vice Chairman of the Shura Council and the Chinese Ambassador accredited to the Sultanate. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, received today His Excellency Mark J. Severs, Ambassador of the United States accredited to the Sultanate. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and reviewed good bilateral relations between the Sultanate and the United States and means of existing cooperation between them in various fields which serve mutual interests of both countries. The meeting was attended by Their Excellency the Secretary General and two advisors at the Office of His Highness the Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan. Reviewing means of developing cooperation between the Sultanate and China, top discussions of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Mandri, Chairman of the State Council, with His Excellency Qin Xiaoguang, Deputy Chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and his accompanying delegation who are on a visit to the Sultanate. His Excellency the Chairman of the State Council praised the consolidated relations binding the Sultanate and China in various fields which contribute in opening up new prospects to strengthen cooperation and deepen partnership, especially in the economic fields. From his side, the Deputy Chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference praised the comprehensive development being witnessed by the Sultanate in various fields. He as well hailed the Sultanate's pivotal role in preserving international peace and security. He also pointed out that his country looks forward to further develop its strategic and historical relations with the Sultanate and expand them, which serve the mutual interests of both countries. Improving bilateral relations between the Sultanate and China in various fields were reviewed in an official discussion session which was held between the Shura Council and the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al-Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council, praised the extraordinary relations between the two countries, especially in the economic and political spheres, which resulted in signing a number of economic agreements. From his side, the Chinese counterpart expressed his happiness to visit the Sultanate, adding that he got acquainted with Omani Shura experience, which helps improving cooperation prospects between the two countries in various fields. The Sultanate and the People's Republic of China celebrated the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between both countries. The ceremony was held in the Chinese city Beijing, and it included various activities, namely a photography exhibition of Omani manuscripts. From the Omani side, the ceremony was attended by His Excellency Dr. Abdul Min'am bin Mansour Al-Hsani, Minister of Information, and a number of officials from the Chinese government as well as ambassadors. The two sides agreed since the establishment of the diplomatic relations in May 1978 to enhance the political aspects and historical friendship, as well as achieve cooperation in energy, economy, trade, communication, and other fields. On the sideline of the celebrations of the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Sultanate and the People's Republic of China, two seminars on tourism promotion and investment in Oman were held. The two seminars reviewed natural potentials and the good infrastructure that the Sultanate from which tourists can benefit. They as well reviewed facilitations rendered to Chinese tourism companies in Oman, in addition to investment incentives rendered by the Sultanate to investors, especially in the free and economic zones, airports and ports. The Special Economic Zone Authority in Duqm, SEZAD, today highlighted investment incentives before businessmen in the Japanese city of Osaka. This came as the second destination of the Asian promotion campaign, Invest in Duqm. The campaign is organized by SEZAD and includes Japan, Korea, and China. The campaign came as part of the efforts of the Special Economic Zone Authority in Duqm to attract foreign investments. Reggie Vermeulen, CEO of Port of Duqm Company, said that the zone enjoys all investment potentials represented in its geographic location on the Indian Ocean, incentives and facilities offered by SEZAD. He added that SEZAD enjoys many investment opportunities for investors. He also highlighted SEZAD's components and its various projects. During his visual presentation, Vermeulen encouraged the Japanese companies to use Port of Duqm in their trade operations. He affirmed that the navigation routes that use the port would save time due to the port's location on an open sea. With a cost of 34 million Omani riyals, Oman Aviation Services celebrated the launch of the new cargo terminal at Salalah Airport. The new cargo terminal is considered as part of a chain of projects affiliated to develop Muscat International and Salalah airports. The terminal is facilitated by modern international standards to harmonize it with development and accelerated growth in goods and cargo movements in the Sultanate. The area of the new cargo terminal is around 20,000 square meters with a handling capacity of 50,000 tons per year, with a future expansion to reach 100,000 tons every year. Still to come in our news bulletin. Petroleum Development Oman (PDO) signs a memorandum of understanding to enhance cooperation in the environmental areas of sustainable development. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Ministry of Higher Education, in coordination with the Omani Cultural Attaché in Washington, stressed that it's closely following up the situation of Omani students in the United States, which is expected to be affected by Hurricane Florence. The attaché also called on the students in universities in California and Carolina to head towards the safe areas and urged them to keep in touch and be cautious. The first military and disaster medicine conference started in the governorate of Muscat. It aimed to achieve high level of proficiency for those working in the health fields, as well as to provide ideal health care. The conference came within the framework of the Sultanate's preparations for the national exercise Shumukh 2 and Oman-British joint exercise Swift Sword 3, which are to be implemented in October. The opening ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs. The conference was considered an opportunity to exchange expertise in disaster management and military medicine aspects. The Royal Army of Oman, represented in South Oman Regiment in Infantry Brigade 11 and the Bahraini Forces Battalion, conducted the joint Omani-Bahraini exercise Arabian Tiger 4. The exercise came with the support of the Royal Air Force of Oman, Sultan of Oman Parachute Regiment and Sultan's Armed Forces Engineering Services. During the exercise, the participants showed their excellent skills and performance so as to achieve the goals of the joint exercise. Petroleum Development Oman (PDO) signed a memorandum of understanding with the United Nations Environment Programme to enhance cooperation in the environmental areas of sustainable development. Here is a report by Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
In line with its continued focus on environmental issues and protection, Petroleum Development Oman (PDO) signed a memorandum of understanding with the United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) to enhance cooperation in the environmental areas of sustainable development.
It is actually a very important agreement as it sets the ground to activities on the ground that we actually intend to follow and implement within Oman and regionally to support certain activities that we have within the GCC and the West Asia region. It is clear that the perspective that we see for Oman and the vision that we have when it comes to the environment is actually shared by PDO, and that makes us extremely comfortable and more certain that such a partnership is going to be successful.
The two parties will explore collaboration opportunities in a broad range of areas of common concern and interest. These include clean energy, climate change, capacity development for Omani nationals on environment management, as well as the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
We're very excited about the partnership we signed today with the UNEP. It's a really step change in terms of the way we work with United Nations in terms of addressing a number of opportunities and challenges, from climate change to renewable energy to the war on plastics to becoming more efficient to addressing energy efficiency to sharing best practice, and ultimately A, because it's a strategic challenge and opportunity, B, because it's a form of best practice sharing, C, because it's a vehicle to enable us to really move fast in this area and progress together in terms of more sustainable solutions.
It is worth mentioning that in 2015, PDO became the first national oil company in the Gulf to sign up to the United Nations Global Compact UNGC, thereby committing itself to supporting the UNGC's 10 universal principles on the environment, human rights, labor, and anti-corruption. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
The total value of real estate trading in the Sultanate during August 2018 reached more than 121 million Omani riyals. The fees collected amounted to more than 7.5 million Omani riyals. The legal transactions reached more than 27,000, including sale, grant, inheritance, exchange, mortgage, and demortgage benefit and distribution. Meanwhile, around 19,000 title deeds were issued by the Ministry of Housing in August 2018. The number of land plots registered for the first time during the same period stood at 4,095. The Omani Students' Society in Western Australia held a celebration to mark the graduation of 16 Omani students. More details in the following report by Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
The Omani Students' Society in Western Australia celebrated the graduation of 16 Omani students specializing in various disciplines from the universities of Western Australia, at a gathering attended by academics and students.
The graduation ceremony is a great moment in our life to express the happiness and the true feelings of the outstanding achievements. Studying in Australia has broadened my horizons and added value to my educations. The knowledge and the skill and technique that we have gained during our studies, we will try to utilize it to serve Oman's and effectively contribute in the sustainable development.
On the sidelines of the ceremony, an exhibition was held showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the Sultanate. The exhibition complemented the efforts exerted by the Omani students to introduce their beautiful homeland.
It's a very indescribable feeling to be here at last. It's been 5 years since I arrived to Perth and started studying instrumentation and control engineering here in Western Australia. And from this stage, I'd like to thank my government of Oman for providing me this scholarship. I'd like also to thank all my friends and family for supporting me throughout my study.
Graduation moments hold special feelings for the graduates. They mark the end of one chapter in students' life and indicate a beginning of another journey for the graduates towards serving their country. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and its nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of cloud accumulation over the Hajar Mountains. Low clouds and fog late at night and early morning are expected over the coasts of the Arabian Sea and Sea of Oman. Winds will be south to southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed receives Deputy Chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and discusses with him bilateral cooperation and means of strengthening it in the economic fields. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq reviews with the American ambassador the existing bilateral relations between the Sultanate and United States. The Sultanate and China celebrate the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between both countries. And the new cargo terminal at Salalah Airport is launched. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.